the Rosanns.
All right, we're together, the two Rosanns. In fact, there's another Roxanne involved in our theater, and I think we do it just to confuse everyone. Rosann, and Roxanne. But there's a lot of people involved at Bear Stage that keep it going. And it was a feed-off of the old Naked Stage Theater, okay? So that was 2018 that we started Bear Stage, and a little bit about Rosann was told, but this Rosann, a lot of you know me because I've lived here for 25 years, next door. Oh. My son runs the Northern Lights Music Festival and the Festival del Lago, which is a school for classical musicians and a huge classical music festival that's become internationally famous in February here in the village. I started running Bear Stage Theaters, I said about, 7 years ago. Yeah. And it was really to keep the old Naked Stage going. And since then, we've had an awful lot of fun reading plays for the audience. People think it's going to be boring reading a play, but it's not. It's actually quite interesting because of what everyone does and how they present it. Anyone interested in reading, we're very interested in you. If you like to get up and read, you're going to have a chance to see David do, and Chris do a scene from Death of a Salesman, so you'll get a feeling for what it's like. But please, we welcome you to sign up to our mailing list. I've brought the book over here, and make reservations for the show next weekend at Bear Stage Theater. We're located in Riberas del Pilar, in St. Andrew's Anglican Church. We share space with them, and we share space with the Unitarians. The three of us are in the building, as well as a couple of the choir rehearsals there, and quite a lot goes on there now at this moment in time. But we'd love it if you give us your email address and join us. And any of our auditions are open to anyone to come up, and we train you. We teach you how to read in front of the public, so it's a really great, wonderful experience, like dancing, but not as hard as dancing at our age. And a lot of fun. So we'd love it if you joined us for Death of a Salesman. And I'm going to pass this over to Balbontin to tell you a little bit more about the play. We do a lot of different plays at Bear Stage. This is one of our classics. We try to educate our people as well as have a lot of fun. Here you go, Rose.
Hi. Am I on?
Yes. You have to put it really close.
Really close. Is that good?
No.
You can't really tell from here if it's working. Okay. Raise your hand if you've seen a stage or screen production of Death of a Salesman. Wow. That's great. Okay. If you've seen it on stage, tell me when and where. Just raise your hand or stand up. Nobody's seen it. Who's seen it on stage? Okay, stand up.
I don't remember.
Okay. If you've seen a movie version, who played Willy Loman in the version you saw? Raise your hand. Yes?
I don't know.
You don't remember either. Oh my goodness. Yes. Dustin Hoffman was 1980.
Was not George C. Scott?
Yes, George C. Scott. Well, here is a partial list of the professional actors who have played Willy Loman. Gene Lockhart, Frederick March, Lee J. Cobb, and he was Willy Loman in the original production in 1949. Dustin Hoffman. Brian Dennehy, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Wendell Pierce, who is the first black actor to play the role on Broadway. And it closed in 2023. So, since its premiere in 1949, the play has been revived on Broadway 5 times, winning 3 Tony Awards for Best Revival. It's been adapted for the cinema on 10 occasions. In 1999, New Yorker drama critic John Lahr said that with 11 million copies sold, it was probably the most successful modern play ever published. And it won the Pulitzer Prize for drama in that year, 1949. So, why is Death of a Salesman no longer widely produced on stage? I would guess that it has something to do with its length of around 3 hours. Yeah, much longer than today's shows. Our production at Bear Stage has cut some peripheral scenes and is less than 2 hours long. Arthur Miller, who was born in 1915 and died in 2005, wrote Death of a Salesman in 1948. He penned the first act, which comprises 51 pages, in one night. Yeah. It took him 6 more weeks to write Act 2. The finished play was published in 1949, the year I was born, and a year before he first met Marilyn Monroe, his eventual wife. And that's the year the other Rosann was born, 1950. According to an introduction written by biographer Christopher Bigsby, Death of a Salesman had its origins in a short story Miller wrote at the age of 17, approximately the age of the young Biff Loman, Willy's son, and arguably a co-protagonist, when he worked briefly for his father's company. It told of an aging salesman who sells nothing, is abused by the buyers, and borrows his subway fare from the young narrator. In a note scrawled on the manuscript, Miller records that the real salesman had thrown himself under a subway train. Years later, at the time of the play's Broadway opening, Miller's mother found the short story abandoned in a drawer. But, as Miller has noted, Death of a Salesman also traced its roots closer to home. Willy Loman's character was modeled after Miller's salesman uncle, Manny Newman. Oh, will you stop that? A man who he says, was a competitor at all times, in all things, and at every moment. My brother and I, Miller explains in his autobiography, he saw running neck and neck with his own 2 sons in some race that never stopped in his mind. The Newman household was one in which you dared not lose hope. It was a house trembling with resolutions and shouts of victories that had not yet taken place, but surely would tomorrow. Uncle Manny's son, Buddy, like Biff in Miller's play, was a sports hero, and like Happy Loman, Willy's other son, a success with the girls. But failing to study, Buddy, like Biff, never made it to college. Manny's wife, meanwhile, Miller says, bore the cross of reality for them all, supporting her husband and keeping up her calm, enthusiastic smile, lest he feel he was not being appreciated. It is not hard to see this woman honored in the person of Linda Loman, Willy's loyal but sometimes bewildered wife, who is no less a victim than the husband she supports in his struggle for meaning and absolution. Though Miller spent little time with his Uncle Manny, he says, he was so absurd, so completely isolated from the ordinary laws of gravity, so elaborate in his fantastic inventions, so lyrically in love with fame and fortune, and their inevitable descent on his family, that he possessed my imagination. To drop by the Newman family home, Miller explains, was to expect some kind of insinuation of my entire life's probable failure, even before I was 16. Bernard, son of Willy's next-door neighbor, was to find himself treated in much the same way by the Lomans. There is, however, something more than absurdity about such people as Manny, who managed to sustain their faith in the face of evidence to the contrary. Of a salesman friend of Manny, Miller writes, like any traveling man, he had, to my mind, a kind of intrepid valor that withstood the inevitable put-downs and the scoreless attempts to sell. In a sense, these men lived like artists, like actors, whose product is, first of all, themselves, forever imagining triumphs in a world that either ignores them or denies their presence altogether. But just often enough to keep the game going, one of them makes it and swings to the moon on a thread of dreams, unwinding out of himself. And surely Willy Loman himself is just such an actor, a vaudevillian, getting by on a smile and a shoeshine, staging his life in an attempt to understand its plot and looking for the applause and success he believes to be his due. He wants, beyond anything, to be well liked, for without that, he fears he will be nothing at all. During the run of his first great success, All My Sons, Miller met his Uncle Manny again. Rather than comment on the play, his uncle answered a question he had not been asked. Buddy is doing very well. The undeclared competition was still underway, as if time had stood still. The chance meeting made Miller long to write a play that would recreate the feeling that this encounter gave him. A play that Miller writes would cut through time like a knife through a layer of cake, or a road through a mountain, revealing its geologic layers. And instead of one incident in one time frame succeeding another, display past and present concurrently, with neither one ever coming to a stop. For in that one remark, Miller's Uncle Manny brought together past hopes and present realities. A 1999 letter from a Seattle doctor to the editor of the New York Times declared, Willy Loman has Alzheimer's disease. All of the signs, all of the symptoms. Reviews for roughly 50 years, beginning with the opening of Arthur Miller's play in 1949, indeed noted signs and symptoms, but did not name any disease. Reviews after 1999 and many productions have been forthright in noting cognitive impairment and often calling it Alzheimer's. One review traces the development of medical and public knowledge and understanding of mild cognitive impairment, Alzheimer's disease, and dementia with Lewy bodies, and suggests that the sympathy Willy arouses across classes and age groups and audiences may owe as much to a recognition of his health as it does to the capitalist models of success usually blamed for Willy's defeat. A review of a 2019 production starring Wendell Pierce asserts that the actor makes the mechanics of Willy's mental breakdown abundantly clear. With the onset of dementia, his mind ties itself in knots. Pierce doesn't play his dementia so much as fight it off, squeezing his eyes shut with every mental glitch as he struggles to tame his misfiring synapses. Now I'd like to introduce David Ellison and Chris Lecluse, who are performing the opening scene of Death of a Salesman.
Good morning. Can you hear me well? Yes. Not really? A little bit better there?
Yes. Is your light green?
My light is green.
My light is red.
That's fine.
Really?
Yep. So then ask them if they can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Not really. Closer?
Put the mic. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, good. Huh. He's got a green, I've got a red. I don't know what that means.
I know I've got a red too.
Do you? Okay.
When you hold the microphone that close to your mouth, we can hear you breathing.
I'm aware. I'm trying to adjust.
Chris is worse.
Oh. Maybe a little bit away.
Okay.
And then, can you still hear us?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll be
1,
live.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Just don't breathe.
Oh, well, yeah, one of the Reader's Theater technique. Don't breathe. Okay. Willie,
It's all right. I came back.
why? What happened?
No.
Did something happen, Willie?
No, nothing happened.
You didn't smash the car, did you?
I said nothing happened. Didn't you hear me?
Don't you feel well?
I'm tired to death. I couldn't make it. I just couldn't make it, Linda.
Where were you all day? You look terrible.
I got as far as a little above Yonkers. I stopped for a cup of coffee. Maybe it was the coffee.
What?
I suddenly couldn't drive anymore. The car kept going onto the shoulder, you know?
Or maybe the steering again. I don't think Angelo knows the Studebaker.
No, it's me. It's me. Suddenly I realize I'm going 60 miles an hour and I don't remember the last 5 minutes. I can't seem to keep my mind to it.
Well, maybe it's your glasses. You never went for your new glasses.
No, I see everything. I came back 10 miles an hour. It took me nearly 4 hours from Yonkers.
Well, you'll just have to take a rest. Willie, you can't continue this way.
I just got back from Florida.
But you didn't rest your mind. Your mind is overactive, and the mind is what counts, dear.
I'll start out in the morning. Maybe I'll feel better in the morning. These goddamn arch supports are killing me.
Take an aspirin. Should I get you an aspirin? It'll soothe you.
I was driving along, you understand? And I was fine. I was even observing the scenery. You can imagine me looking at the scenery on the road every week of my life. But it's so beautiful up there, Linda. The trees are so thick and the sun is warm. I open the windshield and just let the warm air bathe over me. And then all of a sudden I'm going off the road, I'm telling you. I absolutely forgot I was driving. If I'd gone the other way over the white line, I might have killed somebody. So I went on again, and 5 minutes later I'm dreaming again, and I have such thoughts. I have such strange thoughts.
Willie, dear, talk to them again. There's no reason why you can't work in New York.
They don't need me in New York. I'm the New England man. I'm vital in New England.
But you're 60 years old. They can't expect you to keep traveling every week.
I'll have to send a wire to Portland. I'm supposed to see Brown and Morrison tomorrow at 10 o'clock to show the line. God damn it, I could sell them.
Why don't you go to the place tomorrow and tell Howard you've simply got to work in New York? You're too accommodating, dear.
If old man Wagner were alive, I'd be in charge of New York now. That man was a prince. He was a masterful man. But that boy of his, that Howard, he don't appreciate. When I went north the first time, the Wagner Company didn't even know where New England was.
Why don't you tell those things to Howard, dear?
I will. I definitely will. Is there any cheese?
I'll make you a sandwich.
Nah, go to sleep. I'll take some milk. I'll be up right away. The boys in?
They're sleeping. Happy took Biff on a date tonight.
That's so.
It was so nice seeing them shaving together, one behind the other in the bathroom and going out together. You notice the whole house smells of shaving lotion.
Figure it out. Work a lifetime to pay off a house. You finally own it, and there's nobody to live in it.
Well, dear, life isn't casting off. It's always that way.
No. Some people accomplish something. Did Biff say anything after I went this morning?
You shouldn't have criticized him, Willie, especially after he just got off the train. You mustn't lose your temper with him.
When the hell did I lose my temper? I simply asked him if he was making any money. Is that criticism?
But dear, how could he make any money?
There's such an undercurrent in him. He became a moody man. Did he apologize when I left this morning?
He was crestfallen, Willie. You know how he admires you. I think if he finds himself, you'll both be happier and not fight anymore.
How can he find himself on a farm? Is that a life? A farmhand? In the beginning, when he was young, I thought, well, a young man, it's good for him to tramp about, take a lot of different jobs, but it's more than 10 years now, and he has yet to make $35 a week.
He's finding himself, Willie.
Not finding yourself at the age of 34 is a disgrace. The trouble is he's lazy, goddammit.
Willie, please.
Biff is a lazy bum.
They're sleeping. Go get something to eat. Go on down.
Why did he come home? I would like to know what brought him home.
I don't know. I think he's still lost, Willie. I think he's very lost.
Biff Loman is lost? The greatest country in the world, a young man with such personal attractiveness gets lost. And such a hard worker. There's one thing about Biff. He's not lazy.
Never.
I'll see him in the morning. I'll have a nice talk with him. I'll get him a job selling. He could be big in no time. My God, remember how they used to follow him around in school? When he smiled at one of them, their faces lit up. When he walked down the street, people would turn and look at
Willie,
him.
dear, I got a new kind of American-type cheese today. It's whipped.
Why did you get American when I like Swiss?
I just thought you'd like a change.
I don't want change. I want Swiss cheese. Why am I always being contradicted?
I thought it would be a nice surprise.
Remarkable. Remember those days? The way Biff used to simonize that car? The dealer refused to believe there was 80,000 miles on it. Close your eyes. I'll be right up.
Oh, gosh. Well, where did you leave off?
Did I skip a
Yes,
page?
you did.
Don't you hate when that... How about right there? Shut up. All right, let's go back.
Okay.
Why don't you open a window here, for God's sake?
They're all open, dear.
They boxed us in here. Bricks and windows, windows and bricks.
We should have bought the land next door.
The street is lined with cars. There's not a breath of fresh air in the neighborhood. The grass don't grow anymore. You can't raise a carrot in the backyard. They should have had a law against apartment houses. Remember those two beautiful elm trees out there?
Yeah.
When I and Biff hung the swing between them?
Oh, it was like being a million miles from this city.
They should have arrested the builder for cutting those down. They massacred the neighborhood. More and more I think of those days, Linda. This time of year it was lilac and wisteria. The peonies would come out and the daffodils. What a fragrance in this room.
Well, after all, the people had to move somewhere.
Nah, there's more people now.
I don't think there's more people.
There's more people. That's what's ruining this country. Population is out of control. The competition is maddening. Smell the stink from that apartment house. And another one on the other side. How can they whip cheese?
Go down, try it, and be quiet.
You're not worried about me, are you, sweetheart?
Oh, you've got way too much on the ball to worry about.
You're my foundation and my support, Linda.
Just try to relax, dear. You make mountains out of molehills.
I won't fight with him anymore. If he wants to go back to Texas, let him go.
He'll find his way.
Sure. Certain men don't get started till later in life, like Thomas Edison, I think, or B.F. Goodrich. One of them was deaf. I'll put my money on Biff.
And Willie, if it's warm Sunday, we'll drive to the country, we'll open the windshield and take lunch.
Yeah, the windshields don't open on the new cars.
But you opened it today.
Me? I didn't. Now, isn't that peculiar? Isn't that remarkable?
What, darling?
That is the most remarkable thing.
What, dear?
I was thinking of the Chevy. 1928, when I had that red Chevy. Funny, I could have sworn I was driving the Chevy today.
Well, that's nothing. Something must have reminded you.
Remarkable. Remember those days? The way Biff used to simonize that car? The dealer refused to believe there was 80,000 miles on it. Close your eyes, I'll be right up.
Be careful on the stairs, dear. The cheese is on the middle shelf.
I promise I'll turn the right page on Friday.
Okay. Before we do a question and answer, I'd like for anybody who is in the cast to stand up and turn around and let people see who you are. Three, four, five. 3 other people who couldn't make it who are in the cast. So, if you have any questions, Phil has a mic, or he doesn't have a mic?
I don't have a mic.
Oh, who has the other
One of
mic?
our mics is missing.
Well, if you yell, we can hear you.
Everybody
believes they can be heard, except the people at the back. So if you do have a question, please raise your hand and please wait for the mic. And it can be to any of the on the
For
stage
me,
now.
or Rosann?
Yeah,
or-
or anyone. Yeah. So just
Nobody has any questions.
we.
Oh, yes.
When this first came out, all those many long years ago in our infancy, you can't? Okay, when this play first came out, was it played as having Alzheimer's?
No.
And not at
No,
all?
not
God,
at
it
all.
seems so obvious now, doesn't it?
It does. No, it was Willy chasing the American dream and his failure to catch it. And there was one over here, I believe,
We got,
and one back there.
I tell you what, can we take one here? So it gives me a chance to.
All right. Since you all know this play so well, I'm just interested in what you see as the real central relevance of Death of a Salesman to the world that we live in today, 60 or 70 years later.
You know, that's going to depend on whom you ask. I had a professor in college, Dr. Pasquale, and he taught me existentialism. And he said something at the time, but with tremendous earnestness, so I thought, this must really matter. He said, the most important thing is to lead an authentic life. And at the time I thought, yeah, said the closeted gay. And so I was leading a, decidedly inauthentic life, but, I thought at the time, what does that mean? Of course. And for me, this is really about Willy, and he induces his whole family. I mean, they're just leading a lie. And they just tell one lie on top of the next, on top of the next. And they never really own up to the truth of themselves or anything else. And the real hero of the story, when we're discussing this, is Biff Loman, who by the end of the story has had sort of an epiphany. And he takes a good, long, hard look at himself, his family, and the world, and he gets it finally. And he starts calling, the lies, and it leads to some rather uncomfortable scenes, as you might imagine. But for me, at the end of at the play, he's the only one who escapes. He's the only one who is going to lead an authentic life.
Spoiler.
And then I die.
I think for me, this play is very interesting because it's very personal. There's a lot of tension between the role of the wife. In the 50s, she's very supportive, she's very loving. As you can see just a little bit, he's constantly interrupting her, ignoring her, but they have a lot of love between them. And what is our role as a partner in a relationship? How much do we support? How much do we deny in order to support? How much do we say, hey buddy, this is the truth, you're not looking at it? How do we do that with our partner, let alone ourselves? So I think there's perhaps, probably an eternal question on how are you best a friend, a lover, a partner in the most significant relationship in your life. So I find it very relevant, especially when I'm annoyed with my husband.
Here we are, another question.
Yes, I have an interest in what you said about teaching. I'm very interested in theater and all the accoutrements about it, but I don't necessarily have the right talent for the right thing. And you said, just come if you're interested and you'll teach me?
No,
Yes.
Tell me about that.
well,
Okay. That's me. Shouting like my son Christopher. Okay. Okay. Yes, we do workshops at Fair Stage Theater. So suddenly it went away.
no, you're fine.
No, it didn't.
Okay. So we do workshops at Fair Stage Theater. Sign up here. Give us your email address. We have really good people that do workshops and teach you how to speak and get practiced at it. Okay? So we always do one in May. We're talking about adding more throughout the season. The problem is that we do a show every month. Come and see it, watch other people, make mistakes that you don't want to make when you come out for our auditions.
Can I address this? So, I got down here, I hadn't done stage before, but here's a place for us to, if not reinvent ourselves, explore, open our petals, and going to acting classes, participating in the Bear Stage, you find out new hidden facets, and you say you don't have talent, but you're a human, and you have experience, and you can learn to share that experience. And that's what we do. We share our humanity in a controlled, directed, and hopefully entertaining way. But we got professionals to kind of tweak you one way or the other. So come, everybody come. It's so interesting.
I would add one thing. I mean, there are 3 theaters here, Lakeside Little Theater, Bravo, and Bear Stage. All are eager to get newbies up on the stage and to teach you. And the best way is to start with a small role and to work with a wonderful director like Rosann, because the directors are the teachers. They will bring it out in you. And I would say of all the 3, and I'm on the board for Lakeside Little Theater, so don't tell them I said this, but probably the best place for you to begin would be here at Bear Stage. Because I have to tell you, in the other theaters, there's terror. And, my first play, I had this monologue that, I had performed 30 times beautifully. And then opening night, I got halfway through it and just stopped. And I couldn't remember what I had just said. I didn't know what I was supposed to say. I knew only one thing: please kill me now. And I don't worry about that here. And so there's a tremendous sense of there's no terror in Bear Stage. And so it's a wonderful place to begin.
Everyone's very welcoming, and I want to say that I sat here in the audience gloating the entire time because this lady came to me, I don't know what, 15, 20 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
And she was hopeless, horrendous. And here I sat and watched her do this magnificent job with Linda Lohman. And I just glowed, okay? So there are lots of experienced teachers. I was a professional actor and teacher and artistic director of a theater called Solar Stage in Toronto before I came here, okay? And there's lots of people here with lots of experience that want to give it to you. So come and join the theater community and have some fun.
I would add one more thing. My first play here was Twelfth Night at Lakeside Little Theater. And even during the auditions, there were two who were auditioning, and I just sort of said, oh my God, their audition was so good. And I was sliding down, what the hell am I even doing here? And they were both cast, and second or third rehearsal, I went up to them and said, professionals? And they said, yes. So they were retired professionals, and I thought, what the hell am I doing on their stage? And those two became my biggest cheerleaders. I mean, they just realized, this guy needs some, and they just showered me with praise, kept building me up. And it's one of the beautiful things here is that everyone supports each other. Now, you know, when I knew I had a part in this play, I said, oh, cool. And then I learned it was Willy Loman. All right, let's see. Dustin Hoffman, Lee J. Cobb. Sure. And so I went to the first rehearsal, and then I learned that two of the other members of the cast are retired professionals, and I was going, what am I doing here? And this cast has been so supportive of me and sort of said, just let it go and have fun, Dave. And it made all the difference. So that's the other thing I will say, is that every cast will embrace you, as will the directors, and they will build you up.
Now, apart from acting the 4 more Sundays, I got the opportunity this Christmas to act for the first time in the Lady Killers play at Bear Stage Theatre. It was a fantastic experience. It really was. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like this. Had a great time. They never invited me back, but anyway.
Oh, I just lost my actor for the snitch.
What can we look forward to in the coming year from Bear Stage?
Well,
Okay, well, you want to say something? Let's go ahead.
at some point, is it on?
No?
How do you turn it on? At some point,
It's on,
I'll
it's
be
on.
directing a play called I Hate Hamlet by Paul Rudnick. It's a very funny show,
We can't hear you in the
but
back.
I'm not sure when.
Okay, she's going to do I Hate Hamlet at some point in time. She's been trying to convince me for a year. I keep saying, how are we going to do the sword fight scene? So, yes, we have, I'm interested in all plays. We have, next up is a crazy play called Hooray for Johnny Canuck. We have our shows the last full weekend of every month, except for the month of February, because it's the first weekend of March. And if anyone knows me, that's because of the music festival that takes over the whole town, and they have a giant concert in the auditorium that last weekend of the month, and we won't have an audience. So we move it to the first weekend in March. But every other month, except the month of May, we are dark. That's when we teach a lot. So join us for classes in May. The rest of the time, come out for auditions for the directors and have fun.
The next show is...
The next show is Hooray, oh yes, the very next show is Love by Murray Shiskel. It's a crazy modern, what they call Murray Shiskel's big hit wonder. Very funny, 2 actors. The next show after Love by Murray Shiskel is Hooray for Johnny Canuck. It's a crazy comedy about a comic strip hero from Canada. We didn't have very many comic books in Canada, but during the war, World War II, they shut down the import of comic books to Canada. So they invented their own, and they invented this crazy character called Johnny Canuck. So they also, a very crazy person in Canada wrote a play about this crazy character called Johnny Canuck, all with the comic book characters. So we are producing that play in August, right? July is Love by Murray Shiskel. July is Death of a Salesman. What am I doing? Love by Murray Shiskel. I'm so confused.
I think it's October.
I'm buried in a play called Hooray for Johnny Canuck that I'm directing in August. September is Love by Murray Shiskel. And we change, sometimes we change. We don't publish it on a website. We publish on our Facebook page. Because we have so many shows, because the actors are readers, sometimes things change and we can change quickly. We don't publish the show that we're doing 5 months ahead of time. Because with Readers Theater, things can happen and things can change, okay? Our actors get sick. So we publish on our Facebook page and follow us on Facebook to find out exactly what's going on the next month. And sign up for our mailing list.
It's always in the Globe Reporter.
It's always in the Globe Reporter, thank you. Chris, I have people that support me so that I think straight. Like Chris, like Rosann, like Roxanne Rosenblatt, and Michelle Boudreau, and Pam Pettis, and who else?
Donna Burrows.
Donna Burrows, and Darlene Sherwood,
And Linda Gomez.
and Linda Goman, and
A lot of people.
a lot of people.
Okay, we have another question.
Another question.
Yes, I first saw Death of a Salesman live on TV back in 1966, I believe. My question is, who was the actor? And your input at being live on TV and not on stage
They did a lot of things live back then.
back then.
I'm thinking it might have been Lee J. Cobb.
Yes.
In 1960. Greg is nodding his head.
Just hold it up right in front of you.
It was Lee J. Cobb. Yeah.
Was there an advantage or disadvantage on TV as on stage?
Well, I'm sure they cut it because it wasn't 3 hours. I think that would be terrifying to be live on TV. They did that with Peter Pan, I remember, a couple of years ago. And yeah, you can't do it over.
Yeah. One thing I would say, this is a difficult play because we go back in time in Willy's mind. And that's easier to do on a stage where, and the movies especially, where you can change sets and change costumes. And you realize, oh, now we're back in time. There's just up here, so how do we communicate that we're no longer in the present time? And then we're trying to communicate as well as, we aren't actually going back in time, we're going back in Willy's mind. And so is that even, did that even happen? The way he remembers or wants to remember that it happened. And so that for us is our challenge, is going back and forth in time. And please forgive me for just saying, there is National Theater Live at Lakeside Little Theater where you can get better than front row seats. I mean, it's just incredibly good cinematography and everything for, London shows. So if you love, that's one case in which filmed shows really work.
We have actually three more.
The first one here, yeah?
Yes, thank you so much. And people do seem to remember Willy Loman and who played the part, but I'm pretty sure I remember Mildred Dunnett, wasn't it?
Yes.
Who did Linda.
That's right.
And I can still see that performance. It was so heavy and just gripped with grief. And what I am seeing just in the reading that you've done, which I enjoyed so much, thank you, you're bringing a different element. There's a lightness and kind of a love that I never got from her, but I'm guessing, and I will come see the show, definitely. So I guess my question is, do you, both actors, watch other performers who have done this part, even, dare I say, study other performances, or do you just bring yourself as purely as possible?
That's always a, can you hear me? Yes. Oh, oops, my light went out. That's always a question. Do you watch the performance? Because you can always learn from other actors. But do I want to be a Mildred Dunn, wannabe? No. So I believe the most interesting part about acting is you're telling a lie, because this is not your life. But to do a good job, you have to tell the truth. And the truth involves connecting with the character, finding out where do you resonate with the character, where do you have commonality and similarity. So for me, I try to find out, where am I here? How do I feel? And I go with that feeling of resonance and commonality to the character in the script, because you have to feel it. For you guys to believe it, we have to believe it. We have to feel it. And as a wife, I feel it.
Well, when I first started, I was so intimidated. I went right, in fact, Rosann said, well, go watch the, on YouTube, there's the Dustin Hoffman version, and then I watched the Lee J. Cobb version, and now I learned there's a George C. Scott version. They didn't help in the beginning because I was so thoroughly intimidated. I thought, my God, what am I going to do? I can't be them. I can't be like them. And the aha moment for me, when I was a teacher, I could never follow a textbook. I couldn't follow anyone else's lesson plan. I just had to create it myself. And so for me, the moment when I began to have fun is when I just let go. And I just said, I'm going to do it my way and have fun. And if my way doesn't stack up to Lee J. Cobb, well, of course not, Dave. Let it go. I'm an amateur actor in Ajijic to even believe that it ever would. Just let go of that and have fun. And ever since then, if I'm having fun, I'm probably going to do it the best that I can. And that's good enough.
Having fun is the secret to being a great actor, is to have fun when you're on stage, because if you're suffering, the audience is suffering. If you're having a good time, the audience is having a good time. So those are the two. That's really a secret. Have fun.
I have a question. It interests me that we are so attuned to the Alzheimer's or the cognitive decline aspect of this play, and I have a sense that that wasn't what Arthur Miller was thinking of, though he may have captured it perfectly. I wonder if this puts an extra burden on other characters to convey the lies. How does Willy handle the idea? Does this make less the notion of that he's a character that is built on these self-aggrandizing lies? Is this something a tension that you're dealing with in this play as it's seen today?
Arthur Miller modeled the character of Willy Loman after his uncle, and he may not have known at that time that there was a term for his uncle and what he was going through, but he did model him after, and his uncle had dementia of some kind.
Oh, he did. You know that.
Yeah.
But the play has for so long been thought of as a commentary on capitalism or a certain kind of striving personality.
Right.
And if, it seems to me a trick, to keep conveying this while also showing that this is a person who's falling apart cognitively.
It's
just to make you more nervous about the whole thing. I mean, it's going to be really tough for you.
Carol's going to review us.
For me, it's such a complicated role in that, I mean, the opening scene where he can't remember what car he was driving. And then he says, Biff Loman is a lazy bum. But one thing I'll say about Biff Loman is he's not lazy. I mean, within 30 seconds of each other, it's clearly something is amiss. But then you stew into that fact that he has had this impossible dream of being, the superstar salesman. He's never even come close. And now everything is tumbling apart. I mean, he has to come to the not only didn't I make that dream, I am currently a failure. And how do you deal with that? It's not like you get to the end of your life and you can look back with tremendous pride. He's looking back at, and then he says, well, how about my sons? But the trouble is, spoiler, well, I won't say anything more, but he's also dealing with something that he can't accept from his past that comes back to haunt him, and he just will not accept it.
I think that just us being aware of the problems of Alzheimer's and my light's on.
It is now.
Okay, sorry. I think that being aware of the physiological problems that Willy was experiencing is like traveling to a country that you learn more about. It makes it more interesting. The layers are deeper. So it's not just a commentary on striving and commercial success and social success. It's trying to do this your whole life and all of a sudden dealing with a diminishment of your physical and mental being. So it's what we all experience. So dealing with the illness as well as the physical, mental illness, as well as perhaps the economic and social illness, that just gives it more juice. That's what I think.
My character is way too often angry. And it's clearly a defensive mechanism. You will not confront me with the truth. I will not accept the fact that nothing has worked out the way I wanted to. I can't put food on the table. I mean, it's just, so how do I respond? I'm angry.
One time for one last one.
We're talking about the lifetime of a man and his family. A lot of dysfunction in the family. I read the play last night and all the comments about each scene in there. But my question is, are we not focusing too much on his sickness of his mind without looking at all the rest of his life? Because he didn't have dementia, he didn't have Alzheimer's all his life. It was just the last little bit of his life. And it seems like we're focusing a lot on that without the all rest of his life, the dysfunction of his lives and the lives of the children.
We're going to take a really good look at one issue is, as Biff says at the end of the play, Willy never knew who he was.
Right.
And I've just got this image as to what I'm supposed to be, and it ruined my life. And you'll see in the play, the one thing, I should have been a handyman. I was really good at it.
Yes.
But I disparaged anyone because it wasn't, handymen are not, I needed to be great, and that pursuance of something great, it destroyed me, it destroyed my family. It's just, that for me is the tragedy. It's sort of like I never became whom I was meant to be, and I wouldn't allow it, and then the competition that we mentioned before, the competition that I have with my next door neighbor, the competition of my children versus my neighbor's child, we need to be better, and it's just, I'm caught up in this competition, this image of who I wanted to be that I never should have been. It really, I mean, I like Willy. I mean, I hate him. He's selfish. He's a liar, but he's desperate, and he's just so sad, and so frustrated, and you just think, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, how happy he might have been, and how happy his children might have been. And so it's not just about the loss of his mind. It's about the woulda, coulda, shoulda. And if you walk out of the play going, I hope you walk out of the play still liking Willy and saying, damn it, the life he might have had.
All right, well, I've just been handed something here. It says the Oscar goes to... Please, a very good thank you to all our actors and our two directors.